Have you ever felt stuck between knowing that you want more and not knowing what that more even is or where to start? What if I told you that that's exactly where I was when I first realized that I couldn't stay in nursing long term? So if you don't know me, my name is Mel. I'm a former registered nurse who felt in my heart and my soul that I was actually meant for something more. And I found that confidence to leave nursing and go after that. Now I'm a mentor for the nurse who wants to leave nursing, but she's scared to take that step. So if you landed on this video, you probably feel that same feeling too, that you're stuck because you don't know the exact next step. But here's the truth that most people never hear. If you feel in that pull, it means that deep down on a soul level, sometimes it's so deep, you know that something has to change. You just don't know what that something is just yet. That's what I'm here for. We gonna work through this. I'm gonna share the things that I wish somebody had told me when I was exactly where you are right now. And if you're disciplined enough to stay to the end of this video, I promise you that you will walk away with more confidence in yourself to take your next step. So let's go. I got you. I want to reassure you that that fear that you feel, that uncertainty of not knowing what's next, it doesn't mean to stall or to stay stagnant or to stay where you are. But it does mean that you're being called to something higher, to a different version of you. And that's your invitation to shed the identity that you have outgrown, which is what you're currently in, because you've become so comfortable and familiar with that identity, even though it's burning you out, even though it's not fulfilling you, even though it's exhausting you, even though it's draining the life out of you. But because our mind loves what's familiar, it's trying to hold on for dear life. It's going to try to do kick, scream, push, do everything that it can to keep you exactly where you are. And that same question, well, what do I do outside of nursing, will keep you paralyzed in fear. Your mind keeps feeding you this question because it knows that this is what's going to keep you stuck. So the first step to really changing is awareness. But you can't just have awareness without action behind it. Once you acknowledge that something needs to change, you actually have to go into the direction of that change. What you're not changing, you're choosing. So until you listen to that call, to your intuition, that's when you're able to get to that version of you who creates a life that she loves, that she's obsessed with outside of nursing. A life that you're excited to wake up to every morning. You don't even want to go to sleep because you're so excited about life. You feel so fulfilled. You feel so lit up and passionate about who you are and what you do. The next thing that you must do is start giving yourself permission to explore what life is like outside of nursing. But don't just stop there. That's where a lot of nurses stop and they just stall because they have all these options and they don't know what to do. They don't know what to pick because there's so many things that you can do. This is where you have to narrow it down and really follow your curiosity. Follow something that lights you up. Follow something that interests you. Follow something that gives you a tiny spark of curiosity. It doesn't have to be big, but once you start following that curiosity, the full path opens up. So I know right now what's keeping you stuck is thinking that, oh, what if I mess up? Oh, what if I do something wrong? What if I leave nursing and I regret it? Or what if I try something and it doesn't work out or it fails? And I want to stop you right there because I used to have these thoughts too. But what I learned along this journey is that there's no such thing as failure. It might look like you're failing on the outside if you try something and it doesn't work out, but all that is a redirection into the path that you're truly meant to be on. Because we got to try the things in order to know if the things are for us or not. We have to try different things to know what actually feels good, what actually feels like the thing that we want to do. And we have to try different things to realize what we don't like. And that leads you into really finding the thing that you want to do outside of nursing. It leads you to the identity that you want to have outside of that nurse identity. You have to learn to follow your excitement and give yourself permission to mess up. And there's this common misconception that you have to know all the steps before you can take a step. I had this too, and I'm speaking from experience, so I get it. But you just won't know. You're just not going to know all the steps until you take that first step. You just won't. I didn't make the rule. That's just what it is. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can stop holding yourself back. The sooner you can create a life that you love outside of nursing, outside of your nursing identity, outside of the nursing career, because you've outgrown it. It's time. That's why you're on this video. That's why you feel the feelings that you feel. So the biggest limiting belief that's keeping you exactly where you are right now is that you're stuck. Is that you can't figure it out. Is that you don't know what to do next. The longer that you continue to believe this, the longer you let this consume you, the harder it becomes for you to take that step. So when you're on this path, giving yourself permission to rediscover what lights you up, to follow your curiosity, every step that you take in that direction, no matter how small, all of these steps compound. All of these steps bring you more clarity about who you are outside of your nurse identity. So it's no failure here. It doesn't exist. Kill that in your mind right now. It's only redirection. That's all it is. Everything you do, everything you try is only data that's guiding you towards who you're truly meant to become, the path that's truly meant for you outside of nursing. So for me, following my curiosity looked like following my curiosity about personal development, about business, about entrepreneurship, about spirituality, metaphysics, how life works. And through that journey, I was able to discover what I truly valued and the type of lifestyle that I truly wanted to live. I realized that I truly value freedom, flexibility, healing, transformation, feeling good in life, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, in all the ways, and being able to help others in a way that allows me to also help myself, that feels good for me. Because I know a lot of times we become nurses because we want to help people. But there are so many ways that you can help people outside of being a nurse. Because another limiting belief is that nursing is the only way that you can help people. That also allows you to earn good money. But that's not true. Once you admit to yourself that you want something else outside of nursing, outside of what nursing provides for you, outside of your nursing identity, that is the foundation, the very beginning of you taking your power back. That is the beginning of you giving yourself permission to try something new, to get curious, to play, to experience, to not take life so seriously. Because that's what got us in this mess in the first place, is thinking that we had to hit off and check all these boxes off and get everything right and never mess up, never make mistakes. You have to be perfect. All of that is just a trap to keep you where you are. That is just the old version of you that can't come with you where you're going next. But once you start taking those steps, you're going to look back and be like, whoa, look at how far I've come. And it all started with me just deciding, just acknowledging, just giving myself permission, just taking that first step and then that next step and then that next step. You know, when we're babies, we learn how to crawl first, then we start walking, then we running, and before you know it, you're going to look back and be like, I ran a whole marathon. I've come so far, and I've really allowed myself to create a life that I love outside of my nurse identity, outside of being a nurse. I really want that for you. I'm getting excited just thinking about it for you. It's literally a journey of rediscovering who you truly are underneath all of the labels, the degrees, underneath the expectations of other people that other people put on you, underneath who you thought you had to be, underneath all the conditioning and limiting beliefs. It's a whole new world. And I really want everybody who feels like they're meant for this world to experience it. And that's why I'm doing what I do. Every single journey that you see people go on, my journey, your journey, everybody's journey starts with a specific starting point, which is the moment that they decide, and then taking the first step and all the steps that it takes to get to where they want to get to. Even if you don't know where that where is right now. There's been so many times where I didn't know exactly where I wanted to go, but I had a feeling and I followed that feeling. And once I started taking those steps, everything just fell into place. Because once you start following your intuition, everything around you conspires to help you live out what you're truly meant to live, who you're really truly meant to become. If you keep using the excuse that you don't know what to do, that you don't have any options, you don't know what to do outside of nursing, you're going to continue to only see the limitations. You're going to continue to see the lack of options. But there really are no lack of options. That's just an illusion. There are an abundance of options. And the sooner you allow yourself to see that, to research and to be curious, the more you'll see that there are so many opportunities that allow you to help people, get your bank account in order, earn great money, take care of yourself in the process, and to prioritize your mental and your physical health. So many things. But are you open to even seeing what those things are? You were never stuck. You just became a prisoner to your mind and created an illusion that you were stuck, but you are not stuck. Start to think about what are some things that you love to do, that you just obsessed about? What do you talk about all the time with your friends, with your family? What topics do you love to talk about? What do you love to research? What do you lose yourself in for hours? Following those interests. Once you start figuring out how you can actually immerse yourself in that world, you'd be surprised at what comes out of that. Like for me, for instance, one of the first things I did while I was still practicing as a nurse was become certified as a hypnotherapist, because my brother had some sessions done on himself and he was really happy about his results. He saw results, he was excited, he told me about it. And I kept thinking to myself, I wonder if there's a way for me to do this, for me to learn about this, for me to be the person who facilitates those hypnotherapy sessions. Because at the time I had no idea like what it was. I just knew that I love how excited he was. I love the effects that he said that he got, that he learned about his mind and about his mental health and all of that. Originally, he was giving me the information to see if I wanted a session for myself. So me following that curiosity, I called the place. And long story short, I ended up enrolling into their program to become a certified hypnotherapist. And in the process, I learned so much about the mind. I was able to receive hypnotherapy sessions on myself, and I was able to give countless hypnotherapy sessions on other people. So it all worked out just by me following that curiosity, that question. Can I do this too? It was that simple. Following my curiosity opened up a whole new world for me. It helped me give myself permission to experience. It helped me give myself permission to experiment. That's all we're doing anyway in life, is just experimenting. I want you to understand that you're not going to be a master at something as soon as you start it. You're not. When you first got into nursing, you didn't know everything. You weren't a master at it. You didn't feel confident in it right away. I remember as a nurse, the bridge between what you know mentally, like from all the schooling, all the things that you had to learn and memorize and all that stuff. I remember the bridge between that and actually being out there on the field as a nurse with my own license, like not as a student nurse, but really trying to IV for the first time. Just things that you have to physically do in order for you to feel comfortable with it, because we can learn about it all day. But until we take action towards it, until we actually do the thing, we won't be masters at it. Narrow knowledge. He used an example of, you can read about how strawberries taste all day. You can read peer-reviewed articles on how strawberries taste, but until you actually taste the strawberry, you're not going to know what a strawberry tastes like. You're not going to feel the texture and the juiciness and the sweetness or the bitter tartness. You just won't know until you actually do the thing. You won't know, you won't become a master until you actually try. But in order to find the thing, you must start. You have to start somewhere. So you're not going to find the thing that you love by only thinking it through. You got to try, you got to move, you got to be open. So if you're in that space right now, knowing you're meant for more, but you don't know what that looks like, you don't know what that feels like, you're just completely unsure about what's next. I want to reiterate that that's not a sign to stay stuck where you are. That's not a sign to that's not a sign to continue settling where you are just because it's familiar to you. That is a sign to stay open to what's been trying to reveal itself to you, what's been trying to come through you, what's been trying to come alive. So I know a lot of nurses feel this way. You're not alone. I've been exactly where you are at one point, scared to move, feeling stuck. But on the other side of that, I can't even put into words how satisfying, how eye-opening, how revealing, how healing, how deep, how transformational this journey has been, from leaving nursing, quitting nursing, leaving my nurse identity, into going into entrepreneurship, trying different things that I was curious about and interested in. You're going to learn so much about yourself. You're going to evolve so much. And it's so worth it. And I really want that for you. So that's exactly why I'm creating something that'll help you even more with that. Because I know a lot of nurses live here. A lot of nurses feel this fear. A lot of nurses stay stuck in this question. But we're not gonna let that happen. So I'm creating a tool that I'm super excited about. It's an AI guided tool that's gonna help you gain clarity about what to do next. You specifically to you and your journey. It's to help you figure out what path feels most aligned with you outside of nursing. Because enough is enough. We need to get you moving. We need to get you into this new version of yourself that you've been craving. So it's still in the works. The idea came to me and I was like, oh, this is such a great idea. But if this message resonated with you, if something that I said sparked something within you, hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, and stay close because we about to take over. Be taking over the world, because what's coming next is going to help you see your next step so clearly. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I've been complicating it this whole time. You're going to see just how simple it is. And it's going to give you the confidence to know that you have options, to know that there are things that you can do outside of nursing. So then after that, the only next step would be for you to take the steps, go in that direction. If you already know what you're interested in, what you're curious about, and you're scared to leave nursing, you don't want to regret your decision, you need guidance, a step-by-step framework from somebody who's actually been through that same exact journey and those emotions that come up when you go through that journey, that's exactly why I created my signature program. And it helps you through that journey. The link for that is in the description box. So I'm not here to sugarcoat things. Pretending that you're okay when you're really not is really costing you your happiness. It's costing you that future version of yourself who feels peaceful and fulfilled in her life and in her career. So if you are tired of hyping yourself up to go into another long shift, another exhausting shift, this is your wake-up call. Watch my free masterclass, the Should I Stay or Should I Go masterclass. It's time to stop overthinking this and get really clear about what's next. You'll get that clarity in less than 30 minutes in my free masterclass. The link is below. Then if you're really serious about leaving nursing, step into my Confidence to Quit Nursing signature program, where I help you confidently quit nursing, start building that life that you have been craving. So no more waiting for permission. It's time to choose peace above all else. The link is below. I'll see you inside. You get to choose peace over burnout. You get to choose peace over dissatisfaction, unfulfillment. Now go take your next step with some confidence, because you got this.